Hey Cancer, I'm Eleanor and welcome to Peaches by Starlight Tarot. This is your first week of March pick a card reading, although the energy is fluid. So anytime that you're attracted to the title, there's something here for you. And if there's nothing that resonates, I do personal readings, so you can check out my Etsy page and get an email that will be tailored to just what your situation is. If you hear anything that's going to serve you on your path, hit that like button. And if you hear anything that you feel like someone you know would benefit from hearing it, please share with them. Comment if you have any questions or want to talk more about something I mentioned or how it's applying in your situation. And if you want to keep up with the weekly readings, please go ahead and subscribe, because I pick a card for 4 weeks of each month plus a monthly, which is where this card comes from, and this is your yearly. And both of these readings are linked below so you can see where these cards pop out and I talk more about them. Your energy for this week is knowing without knowing, and that's going to be listening to the information that you receive through sources other than your five senses, which is something that we're not really taught to do. We're taught to, if show our source, like our bibliography. Well, I got it from my eyes, my ears, and then that's real. But if you get it from another place, there's like, well, you're making it up. And so this is learning about how to trust that and how to use that and how to hear it. And this month is the Knight of Cups. So it is a journey of love, whether it's of self-love, of love of another. We're moving through and getting all these readings and finding out. But this week, your stop along the journey is learning how to hear that information that comes through other channels. I'm using Whispering Woods because sometimes that whispers to us, and Impressionist Tarot. I have stack 1, stack 2, stack 3. They're time-stamped below. You don't have to pick one. You can pick several if you like. So let's move on to stack 1. You have the Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and let go. Enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly, but don't hold on too tight. So we have two knights here. We're in motion. We're moving forward. That's great. The Knight of Pentacles is steadfast, dedicated, shows perseverance and commitment. And the Queen of Wands is an energy of fearlessness and assertiveness and intrigue. So there's really a cool PBJ thing going here, peanut butter and jelly. They go together nicely in that neither one is easily deterred. They are both very determined and dedicated energies to what it is that they want and what it is they're trying to grow and build. So when these two join forces, actually these three, when these you're going to need to tap into the fluidity of this Knight of Cups, and this is going to be about surrendering and letting go attachment to results, and having any of this or any of the motivation or the drive behind this be about accomplishing something or anything in particular. It's going to be about surrendering to the process itself, doing it for the sake of doing it, and then not trying to control the process with your mind, because your mind has a vision or an idea in mind of how it has to end up. So just use these energies in the moment, moment by moment by moment, to move through the process for its own sake. Stack 2, Six of Pentacles, King of Wands, and clearing, make room for growth, which goes beautifully with the Six of Pentacles, because it is talking about the balance of giving and receiving, the flow of energy, and how you have to, if you want to receive, you have to make room for that to receive. You have to participate in the flow of energy, of the outflow and the inflow. It's a movement and it's a motion. There's no, it has to go in and it has to go out, like breathing, like air. And so with this King of Wands, though, there's a sense here to where you're going to have to lead the way and go first, and that your pride is going to fight you. Your mind is going to fight it. Your pride is going to fight it. And that those are going to be your blockages. But it's this knowing without knowing. It's that intuition that you have to tap into, that gut feeling of where you need to make those cuts, and that it's going to reassure you like that it's the right thing to do, because you're going to have your mind and you're going to have your pride and your ego saying don't go first, don't make the first move, wait for someone else to go first, and trying to get that sense of trust and security and reassurance externally. It's this other place that you're going to have to get that reassurance that it's okay to move forward and to be bold and to be assertive and to go first. Stack 3, you have the Magician, Judgment, and idle hours. Take some time out to lie in the emerald grass. So there's a call here definitely to let your mind wander aimlessly. It is difficult to create anything, to hear anything, when you're busy, moving around, engaged constantly with your phone, in conversation with others, at work, doing calculations and navigating and just going all the time. It's not until you stop and there's a sense of stillness and a sense of emptiness. You have to create. So it's like the Big Bang. It's about creating something out of nothing. The Magician creates something out of nothing, and it's not until you can make space for nothing, create a void, empty things out, for it to then be filled with this insight, I feel. And it's in that stillness that new inspirations can arise. Like, I know for me, like if I'm working and I have one day off, nothing really happens in that day off. It's not until I get maybe 2 or 3 days off in a row that the water's still enough and become like a mirror. And that's when I start to feel inspired to create again. And that's where I start to have ideas come from. And usually I have to go back to work the next day and I don't get much done of it. But here's what they're asking you to do, though, is to find that sense of mental idleness, of silence, of void. And then that creates that platform from which these inspirations and the quiet from which you can hear these inspirations come from. All right? So I'll talk to you in a week. Thank you.